Hi, I'm Joe with Algo Cleanup, and in today's video, I plan on discussing 3 topics relating to Algorand's ecosystem. Topic 1 will be Algorand's Governance Program. The second topic will be Algorand's DeFi space, and the third topic will be the Aeneas Liquidity Program that Algorand Foundation has set aside. So the Aeneas Liquidity Program was set aside for 3 purposes. It's meant to fund 3 major pillars of the DeFi space. The first pillar being bridges, the second pillar being decentralized exchanges, and then that final pillar being lending and borrowing protocols. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing how we can participate in Algorand's governance program, how we can utilize a lending and borrowing protocol called Folk Finance, which is a new dApp that was released recently. And then finally, we're going to be looking at Tinyman, a decentralized exchange built on Algorand. And we plan on covering all these topics before a single Bitcoin transaction is confirmed. So let's jump right into it. Hey guys, as I stated earlier in the video, I'm going to explore Algorand's ecosystem within the time frame of a Bitcoin transaction being confirmed 6 times. That's a typical time frame for a Bitcoin transaction. So I'll also start the clock once we make that first transaction. So first, from my Coinbase Pro account, I'm going to go ahead and withdraw the Bitcoin in my account. All right, so I'm going to withdraw a small amount of Bitcoin now. And I just clicked withdraw, and we can see under my withdrawal tab momentarily that there will be a pending Bitcoin transaction. So let's jump into Algorand's ecosystem and let's make this happen. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I need to make a brand new wallet for my transactions to go to. So I'm going to transfer some Algos to a brand new wallet, and that brand new wallet is going to be used within Folk Finance and on Tinyman. So first, I'm going to go to wallet.myalgo.com and create a new account. I'm going to click continue. I'm going to generate a quick password. I'm going to create a brand new account. And so this is where the seed phrase comes in. This is the only time my video is going to cut out while I copy this. Alrighty, so I am back. I am ready to create my account. I've written down my mnemonic seed phrase, and that's really important because that is how you keep your account. So I'm going to create an account. I'm going to call it Folk Finance. And we're going to enter our password. And voila, I have created a brand new Algorand wallet. There is no Algos in here. There are no funds. There are no transactions. This is all brand new. So I'm going to copy my brand new address, and we're going to have to go right back over to our Coinbase Pro account. We're going to go ahead and deposit 50 Algos directly into this brand new account. Sorry, withdraw. We're going to withdraw some Algos into this brand new account. So you watch me copy this brand new account. We can see it's a valid Algo address, and we're going to transfer 50 Algos. There is a 0.002 Algo transaction fee, which is a fraction of a cent. And so now I will enter my 2-factor authentication to withdraw the Algos. I am now withdrawing those 49.998 Algos. All right, so that transaction, so we can go back to our withdrawals, we can see that the BTC is pending, but let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can see our Algo transaction. So we'll just give it a quick second. This is our brand new wallet that we just set up, and boom, there it is, 49.998, exactly what we expected. So the very next thing I want to do, this is a brand new wallet. Let's go ahead and copy this again. This is our My Algo wallet. Let's go over to Algorand's governance page. So at the top, you can see we are in governance period 3, which is the most recent governance period, and we have to register before April 14th. So let's go ahead and connect that brand new wallet we just set up and we just funded. So I'm going to click on My Algo. I'm going to type in my password again. I'm going to connect it. Boom, it sees my Folk Finance wallet. I'm going to connect that. Yes, I'm going to use these 50 Algos. So the very next thing, we have to commit some Algos for this period. So during the governance period, your Algos are soft locked. So this means that if you commit 10 Algos of those 50 Algos and you never dip below that amount, like you never send you never dip below 10 algos in your wallet, you will qualify for governance. And then the only other qualification is you actually have to vote. So you can see the period 3 voting session right here. So first step is we have to commit our algos before April 14th. So we're going to do that right now. And then you'll see that we have to vote between April 30th and May 14th. And more information will come out when those measures are prepared. But first, let's go ahead and commit some algos from that brand new wallet we just created and we just funded. So in this wallet, I'm going to commit 10 algos. I'm going to click commit. This sends a 0 algo transaction. Type in my correct password. And you can see again, this was just that brand new wallet, and we're going to just commit 10 of those 49 algos we have. So we can close. You can see that the commitment went through. So we now have committed 10 of our 49 algos. And so of this account, you can see I didn't lose any more of those algos, just that 0.001 algo for a transaction fee to commit these algos. So I am basically saying to the foundation that I will never have this amount in my wallet drop below 10 algos. And at the end of this period, we are rewarded. And so for the end of governance period 2, we received 2.51 APR for that quarter. And that was a realized return. So it's a really interesting incentive program. And it's a great way to get the community to participate and actually vote and shape the blockchain and how the direction we're going to go and how measures can be proposed to shape the blockchain. So it's fantastic. So you saw us fund it, and now you can see that we've already committed to the Algorand Governance. So next, we're going to head over to Folk Finance. We can go back to the beginning of the video where Algorand set aside funds specifically for decentralized financed applications. And so Folk Finance falls under that lending capital pillar of the DeFi space. Again, it's decentralized exchanges, so DEXs, decentralized lending and applications. And that third one was bridges. So we're going to head over into the Folk Finance app. So once we head into the Folk Finance app, you'll see they give a quick warning that we are actually interacting on the mainnet. So the very first thing we'll do is we're going to connect our wallet just like we did for the governance period. So again, it's my algo. We're going to just type in our password. We're going to connect. You can see that Folk Finance wallet again. Once I connect, you can see that we have 4 days and 9 hours to commit. And again, Folk Finance is doing a great job. They're making sure that you can actually lend and borrow. And it's really important for the DeFi space to ensure that there is efficient capital allocation within the market. So what we're going to do with Folk Finance, the very interesting thing that they allow is, again, they allow you to commit some algos for governance, but what they allow you to do, rather than soft lock them, like we just did back on this governance page, we can't dip below these 10 algos. So that means that we have to leave those 10 algos in our wallet. But what Folk Finance has done is they allow us to go ahead and mint some algos. So we're going to go ahead and mint 20 algos here. And so what we do after we're minting these algos for the governance period, once we opt in, again, we have a transaction that we need to agree to. Once we sign this transaction with our correct password, you can see that we are opting in to the smart contract. And now what we're going to be able to do is send those 20 algos to Folk Finance, and they're going to be able to send us some G algo back. So this just proves the ownership of your ownership that you've committed 20 algos to the governance program. But what they gave you back is they gave you back G-Algo 3 balance. So this is governance algo 3 because we're in period 3. They gave us 20 algos to show that we actually have that commitment. But the beautiful thing about this now, since this is a lending and borrowing platform, we can now take our G-Algo 3 balance. We can head over to the deposit area. you can see we can actually go ahead and deposit our 20G Algo 3 balance that we just received. You're seeing this all happen live. I know I'm talking really quickly, but I'm trying to race against a Bitcoin transaction. So again, I'm going to put in my correct password. I'm opting into a new smart contract, and what I'm doing is I'm taking the collateral I just put up, asking Folks Finance to commit to the governance period for me, and then they gave me an asset back called GAlgo 3. Now I'm taking that GAlgo 3 asset, I'm depositing it into my account, and it's just going to take a second. Perfect. Now that I've deposited that asset in there, you can see I can now come over to the borrow tab. So essentially this is the collateral I'm putting up. I'm saying that I gave them algos and they gave me GAlgo 3 back. I now take those GAlgo 3 and I deposit them into my collateral side of the equation. Now if I come to the borrow side, guess what? I can come back and let's say I want to borrow some algos now because I really want to really participate in the ecosystem. So rather than soft locking those algos that we initially just provided, we now have the ability to borrow against that collateral and further participate in the ecosystem. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select FG Algo 3. So this stands for Folks Governance Algo 3. So when I deposited it, they gave me another asset, that FG Algo 3 asset. And what I'm going to get back are real algos this time. And all these algos are pegged together, but they represent different smart contracts that I've opted into. So I'm going to go ahead and borrow 10 algos against my 20 governance algos that you saw me add to the liquidity. And then I took the asset that I was given to prove that I added to the governance liquidity. I deposited that. And now I can borrow against that deposited. So, and what I can put up as collateral is FG Algo 3. And so I can put in 10 algos and I will get 10 algos back. So I'll click continue, add to the escrow account, go ahead and sign the transaction. And since all algos will move together, there's not so much a concern of liquidation. So now I can borrow. I'm going to go ahead and borrow. And it's just going to take a quick second and voila, we are done. So I am borrowing 10 algos. And you can see this right here goes back to the incentive program I brought up at the beginning, the Aeneas incentive program. So there's actually, they're paying you 4.8% to be borrowing. So it's a very attractive rate right now. So if we come back to my wallet now, I'm going to sign back into my algo. And we can see that I have 39 algos in here. And that's because I have sent 10 algos to the Folks Finance Governance tab. And so those algos actually left my account. But what I got in return were the GAlgo 3 balance. But what I decided to do with that is I decided to put that up as collateral. And what was given back to me was Folks Governance Algo 3, which I then was able to borrow against, and I borrowed 10 algos. And so we can see that all happening because I put 20 up, but I borrowed 10. So that's how I'm at around 40 algos. And you can see all my balances here. So I have that FG Algo 3. I have 8 of those left because I didn't borrow against the full amount. And I can now I have 39 algos in my account. So next, this is a very important pillar of DeFi. It allows us to lend and borrow, and even though that I'm participating in governance, I now don't have a concern of actually dropping below my committed amount because I actually sent them to Folks Finance. But I'm still able to use those assets within the financial space and actually participate in Algorand's ecosystem. So again, I still have 40 algos. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to head over to Tinyman. Tinyman, another one of these pillars of the DeFi space, the decentralized finance space, is decentralized exchanges. And so what that means is essentially Tinyman has built smart contracts that allow us to swap ASAs, Algorand standard assets, for one another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually head over to the Tinyman app. Again, they're letting me know that I'm participating on the mainnet. So you have to be careful while you're doing this, but you can see how fast Algorand's blockchain is, and I'm able to do all of this before even a single Bitcoin transaction is confirmed. So again, I'm going to go ahead and connect my wallet. It's my Algo. I'm going to type in my password one more time. I'm going to connect. There's my finance wallet. Once I connect, you can see I just need to opt in. And once I opt in, I can start to participate in the decentralized exchange, a DEX. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to get some USDC, which is, you have probably seen USDC on other centralized exchanges. It's pegged to the US dollar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take 10 Algos and I'm going to convert them into $7.81. This opt-in, because this is a brand new wallet, every time you add a new ASA to your wallet, so this USDC is an ASA, I need to actually add the transaction, and this prevents dusting attacks. So essentially what I'm doing is I am saying, yes, this is an asset I want to see in my wallet. So as I add that, so I just opted in, and you can see USDC pulls up, the ASA ID is right here. I'm saying, yes, I would like to receive these, this asset. So I don't have any yet, but I just opted in. And now that I've opted in, I can say, okay, I'm willing to swap 10 of my Algos for 7.8 of USDC. I'm going to go ahead and confirm this swap. I'm going to, again, type in my password. Once I sign this, you can see this is why this is so important for the decentralized finance. This allows you to swap different amounts. And so you can see that there's just a little bit extra. I'm going to go ahead and redeem that as well. This is just to ensure that there isn't too much slippage between the swap prices, and it's an equitable swap. And so this is all being done through a smart contract. So there's no one at Tinyman approving or disapproving these transactions. This is why it's so important to the ecosystem. So the next thing I'm going to look at are pools. And so being a liquidity provider means that you're going to provide both ASA assets in tandem with each other. So Tinyman right now has a great incentive program, again, helped funded by the Aeneas Liquidity that the Algorand Foundation put to the side. So what they're offering right now is a 36% APR at this current point. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to click on the stake side of things. I'm going to add liquidity to the USDC Algo pool. And so what liquidity providers do is they actually provide assets. They provide Algos and USDC, and that's extremely important for the ecosystem, because how you saw I just swapped, that is only possible because other people have actually provided their assets to enable people to swap back and forth. So I'm going to add some liquidity to the pool so I can actually stake. So first things first, I'm going to add the max amount. So this 7.8 is how much I have in my wallet of USDC. So once I add that 7.8, I can match that by 9.97 Algos. So I'm adding these two ASAs in the same amount. And so to begin, I need to opt in to say that I'm willing to receive a liquidity pool token to prove how much liquidity I have actually provided to this pool. So you can see my share of the pool is really small. I have a small percentage, which is good. A lot of liquidity in a pool means that there's a lot of assets for people to actually swap back and forth. So I've opted in. Again, this is a separate ASA. You can see Tinyman Pool 11. So this is indicating that I'm willing to accept a token that represents my percentage of the pool. So once I click add liquidity, you can see I'm going to get 8.18 of these USDC Algo pool tokens. I'm going to confirm my supply. I'm going to go ahead and sign the transaction. So this means that I am sending 7.8 USDC and 9 algos to the pool so people can swap, so there's more liquidity. And what I receive in return is 8.18 liquidity pool tokens. And again, to make sure that the trade is equitable, there's some room for slippage. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign and sweep all the remaining balance into my account. Redeemed. Perfect. And so if we look in our wallet now, that Tinyman pool I just opted into, I have that now, but I don't have any USDC ASA anymore because I actually sent that. And you can see my algo balance reflects all this. Remember, I traded 10 algos for the USDC, and then I sent essentially 10 algos into the USDC pool, and I sent 10 USDC. So now I have these pool tokens, and we can come back to the farm side and we can stake these pool tokens to earn even more rewards. So what we're going to do is we're going to stake to earn. We're going to confirm our stake. And essentially, this tells Tinyman that we are not going to pull out of the liquidity pool because there are time periods to earn your rewards. So you can see as you'll see once we opt into this, and actually, so essentially we are now staking the Tinyman tokens and saying, so you can see the token pool balance, I have 8.818, which we did see, and the next cycle starts in 22 hours. So we're waiting for the next cycle, but I earn rewards every 24 hours that are paid out every Wednesday. And so this is just a fantastic incentive program that is very, very generous. And so this is, again, all possible because Folks Finance allows me to actually commit to Algorand's governance while borrowing against that collateral that I put up, so I can continue to participate in Algorand's ecosystem. And so what I'm going to do is just leave my stake of USDC Algo and leave this in here to earn some rewards as well. And one other thing, I just wanted to copy my address, the brand new wallet address that I put in, and I just wanted to show algoexplorer.io. Again, there are so many tools in Algorand's ecosystem. It's growing so fast, but it's just so impressive how fast this blockchain is. You can see every transaction is logged on the blockchain. You can see everything that we just did in less than 20 minutes. And we can even come back to our withdrawals. And I was just short of beating the Bitcoin transaction. But if we even look at let's go ahead and look at how many confirmations. So you can see there's only been 3 out of 6 confirmations. So it's still not even fully confirmed that this transaction has been completed. So we still have 3 more transactions to go on Bitcoin to ensure that I actually received the $10 of Bitcoin that I sent myself. And then if we compare that to Algorand, we built a brand new wallet. We went ahead and opted into Algorand's governance page through their governance program. But then we went ahead and went over to Folks Finance and showed how we can even participate in the Algorand governance program and still use those assets. Because again, by committing these 10, I'm unable to actually dip below that 10. So essentially 10 of my algos are soft locked. And you can see how this could be much greater for other individuals. And so that stifles some of the participation in the Algorand ecosystem. So now I was able to commit 20 algos to governance. So I have 20 algos in governance as well, but I was able to take those assets, I was able to deposit them, and then I was able to borrow against those assets and actually received algos in return. I then was able to take those algos and acquire some USDC and put up some algos as well into a liquidity pool, which then gave me a liquidity pool token, which I was then able to stake on Tinyman in a very, very lucrative farming program. And again, this is all possible because of how fast Algorand is as a blockchain. So we can see this brand new wallet has opted into 5 different assets and has zipped around all before a single Bitcoin transaction has been fully confirmed. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I talk so fast. It was a bit of a race against the clock, but I am so appreciative of how much Algorand's ecosystem has grown, and I'm just so excited for the future. And thanks to the people at Folks Finance and Tinyman, they have been above and beyond incredible and communicative, and I'm just so excited for the future of Algorand. Thank you.